Jackie's always been a terrific leader. Even while Bob was serving, she was always one of the anchors of the staff. She always made the folks on the board feel comfortable. She always provided for the things that we needed to make the decisions that we needed. And I think one of the great things about Jackie is that she was a friend to everybody, but still had that professional, business-like attitude, and we just wouldn't be here without her. I think the Chamber has made incredible steps to ensure that our businesses know that they're still represented even when things have to be managed in different ways with people working remotely and so forth. But the Chamber has always been a powerful influence on business in this area and in the region, and I think it's retained that during this very difficult period of time.
You know, when I was chairman back in 12, I got to know Jackie even better than I had before. I'm always impressed with Jackie, but once you work that closely with someone like that and you find out how hard they work and how important the Chamber is to them, not just to themselves. I mean, she is heart and soul into this building, into this community, into our Chamber, and it makes all the difference in the world, and it's easy to see why it's the #1 chamber anywhere, in the state and in the nation sometimes. So it's all kudos to Jackie. She has put together a great team. She's been here for like 25 years. That says a lot. Says a lot. You know, in times like we're experiencing right now, you're just struggling to keep ahead of things. And our chamber has mostly small businesses, and they don't have time to check and read and decipher every executive order that comes from the governor's mansion or everything that's coming from Washington. So they rely on some association like the Chamber to let them know. And our Chamber was phenomenal this whole year. I mean, it's almost been exactly a year right now. The whole year they've been there, they've been reading, pouring through things, and getting the information out to everyone. It's crucial for small businesses to have an advocate fighting for them and then letting them know where to go and how to get help, because we all need help right now, without a doubt. You know, a long time ago, I learned from a couple of the senators and the representatives, it's crucial for them to hear our stories. And there's nothing more important, and there's nothing that helps them understand what's going on than a story from a local business person. Our chamber is well respected up in Tallahassee because they know, they call them, you know, the commandos. When they come up to Tallahassee, they get appointments, they get in the offices, and they get the ear of our representatives, and not just in Tallahassee, but here locally too. They represent a lot of business people, and that's what they need to hear from. So they're phenomenal in legislative affairs for us here locally. Well, you know, as you said, we're standing right in the shadow of the monument to Bob Bartz, and Bob Bartz obviously built our Chamber of Commerce, but he did it with a team. He recognized the people he needed to work with him, Jackie being one of them, Neil, Marie. I mean, he surrounded himself, and he taught Jackie. He was a huge mentor to Jackie. He taught her how to put together a team. She obviously learned, and she's got as good, if not a better team working with her than had in the past. Look at this gorgeous building they put together, and they did it through volunteer work and people that come in and help and volunteer to do their time to make our chamber great. But it takes leadership, and I'm telling you, Jackie can just give you a wink of her eye, and you'll just do whatever she needs you to do, and you're sunk.
Jackie is the consummate leader in the fact that she has a very keen idea of her responsibility and what her duties are. Yet she has a very soft heart. She's very concerned about her people on her staff, and she absolutely loves to bring them along, to nurture them, to encourage them. And those are all great attributes of a leader. But COVID, as we all know, has really kind of turned things upside down. And I think our chamber has responded in a way that is probably like not many others, if anyone else. And Jackie has certainly led that charge. And the information that is being disseminated to the community as a whole is just incredible. She has taken the leadership to pass that information along to the entire community, all businesses, regardless if they're a member of the Chamber of Commerce or not. So she has reached out and made sure that the information is available so that people can get help that they need for their businesses. And it's just done in a way that is just without question to the highest level. Well, as we all know, our legislature certainly has a great impact and influence upon our daily lives. Everything that we do and as we move forward in our businesses is impacted by laws and by legislation. Our chamber has a specific committee and people that are charged with reviewing those items that would be before the legislature, as well as bringing forward to the legislature those items that we are concerned about for our community. So they are on the cutting edge of the spear as far as that information that they need to have in Tallahassee. We're very well respected there. We get the legislature's attention and that we're received in a very favorable fashion there. So I think the information that we provide is of great impact and influence to our local delegation. One of the great benefits we have of Jackie's 25 years is her growth, her experience over the long term, that she is a key person in that role, and that she understands what our community needs, what our businesses need, and she is that person that really has a great vision, has a big macro picture of what needs to happen in our community, and she takes that very seriously and makes it happen.
I am overwhelmed that there is a recognition of the good fortune that I've had to be with the Manatee Chamber for 25 years. I was talking with someone recently, just not having any idea that a recognition was coming, but I've held 5 different positions at the Manatee Chamber since I joined our staff in 1996. And I tell you, if someone were to ask me, why in the world would you stay with the same organization or with in a community for this long, it's the people. I mean, I work with the very best people day in and day out when times are good and when we face significant challenges as a community. And this community is just amazing. And thankfully, the Manatee Chamber has had a leadership role at the center of it. Since way before I joined our team, the legacy has been built on, the men and women that are behind me, so many that aren't here today, but I'm the luckiest person in Manatee County right now. I still get, as you might imagine, really emotional when I think about Bob Bartz and what he meant to me personally, and then as importantly, what he's meant to this community. And I credit my love of chamber work, my deepening love of this community and the difference that business people can make every day to the leadership and legacy of Bob Bartz. I could not count my good fortune for having worked for Bob for almost 20 years. And the plaque is right over there on the wall, and nothing made me prouder about this space for the chamber than making sure that we honored Bob Bartz and his legacy. It's priceless and invaluable to me, and absolutely has shaped the career that I envisioned and my leadership style as well. Well, as much difficulty and struggle and heartbreaking loss and economic challenge as we've experienced as a community and a country and a world due to the pandemic, I will tell you, Chamber of Commerce work has never felt more important than it has over the past year. And so it has been an honor to lead this team who work just as hard as I do every day to serve the business community, and I applaud the business people, the community leaders that are lockstep with us in making sure that we're making connections outside of ourselves, right? This pandemic has been a time for us all to look inward for our strength and what we can offer, but to immediately turn that outward to help one another. And so if there is a silver lining to the past year, it has been strengthened partnerships and an even stronger realization of how strong this community and its ties are. Over 25 years, I've worked with just the consummate professionals who care every single day about where this community is headed. And so the staff team, I would stack them against any Chamber of Commerce in the country. And so I'm just lucky that I have the opportunity to help lead them, but they deserve the credit as much, if not more, than I do for where the Chamber has been and where we're headed. Same goes with our board, with the hundreds of Chamber members that serve on committees, and thousands that came before them. You know, I'm reminded frequently about the more than 130-year history that this Chamber of Commerce has in Manatee County. And so that's generations worth of leadership and involvement and caring about more than just how your own organization is doing. So our team is incredible. Our board and all the boards that preceded this one are incredible, and I'm just lucky.